Seems like there's been an embrace in this country of betting and making betting easier for people to do in a way that didn't necessarily exist in society a few years back. Is this trend now, as you see it right now, going to be sustainable, not only in terms of how people bet, but in terms of the business opportunity back in it?
Absolutely. We think we're in the first inning. If you look out there, there's a massive illegal market for sports betting that we're looking to put out of business. And then if you look at the gaming industry broadly, it's one of the last industries that has yet to really embrace online. And what you're seeing in state by state is huge market opportunities open up for those states that have passed legislation. And that's leading to other states to realize that it's just kind of common sense that they want to legalize both online sports betting as well as online gaming.
Your market share has been resolute, about 29% market share, you said, in third quarter. And with these successful ballot measures that we've just heard Taylor talking of, you've got Maryland, Louisiana, South Dakota. How quickly can you get into these sorts of states? How quickly do you expect them to actually come online? Because it's not immediate.
It's not immediate. You're exactly right. Usually it's about 6 to 12 months between when a law is passed and when operators like ourselves can start operating. But by and large, we are able to be operational the first day possible in a given market. So if you look at Tennessee, where our kind of early success has been, far exceeded our expectations. We were live at 12:01, 1 minute after midnight of the first day that any operator was allowed to go live.
Matt, I'm curious, just take the opposite side of that bet, if you will. Some analysts are less optimistic about the sector. One even downgraded the sector after saying that there's already a lot of competitors in the U.S. and there are more to come. Legislation is a good thing, but it also means that a lot of other competitors are coming in as well. How do you distinguish yourself?
So we distinguish ourselves really in three ways. One is from a partner perspective. We have the best partners in the industry. If you look at the recent deals we did with the likes of Turner Sports and Entercom, we're kind of embedded into the sports media landscape. We differentiate ourselves on product. So we have the best product in the marketplace, both in terms of user experience as well as the breadth of betting offerings. And then we differentiate ourselves based on our brand. We're a brand that people associate with sports and also a brand that people trust. And that goes a long way when you're asking somebody to put a bunch of their personal details and money on account with you.
With regards to the embrace by Matt here, the actual sports leagues themselves and the various sports associations, we know that for years they always sort of tried to keep the whole idea of gambling at arm's length, despite the fact that it was going on, as you said, in the illegal market. Are you finding that your general discussions with folks associated with those leagues are a little bit warmer now than they were in the past?
Absolutely. We've had long-standing relationships with all the leagues going back to our fantasy sports days, which is still a really important product for us. And what they've seen from us is that we can drive a ton of engagement for their core fans, that in the case of betting, it is something that these people are already doing. And most importantly for the leagues, they've come to trust us. They trust us as a partner who will work with them collaboratively to introduce sports betting and legalize sports betting to a broader swath of sports fans in a very responsible way.
I'm interested, Matt, on your take on the consumer right now and the willingness to be placing bets, size of bets. Just as we enter this economic downturn, as people are more worried about their future, how are you seeing that and how are you preventing people perhaps digging themselves into holes?
So we've always taken responsible gaming very seriously. It's one of the biggest benefits that we get from being part of Flutter's portfolio of brands is really access to the knowledge that they've developed over 20 plus years globally. So we've tried to bring to the U.S. very quickly what we know works around responsible gaming. And so we've done that from day one. If you look at the kind of health of the consumer, we still see a very healthy consumer out there, and a consumer that has limited entertainment options today. We're fortunate in being an online business that we're one of those entertainment options that's available. So our business is holding up very nicely, and we still see a lot of strength in the consumer.
In the last quarter, they said a lot of the strength was due to live sports returning. We're talking here across the country about further lockdowns. How much of a hit is it if live sports then disappear again for 6 months if we have another lockdown?
So I think when you look at what's going on, I think you can always assume that the sport calendar is going to be disrupted in some way, shape, or form. You see that with NFL games getting canceled here and there. I think our view is that you aren't going to see the same level of lockdown that you saw in the spring. We think that the big sports will be able to continue to play, albeit with disruptions. And we've just frankly become very good at being adaptable in the moment when a game gets canceled last minute, and we would expect that to continue.